Welcome to Partnerships for Profit, the podcast where we bring you inside the world of joint ventures, strategic partnerships, and powerful collaborations. Each episode, you'll dive into conversations with top entrepreneurs, visionaries, and business leaders, unlocking the secrets to building profitable relationships that drive growth and success. Whether you're looking to expand your network, find new referral partners, or scale your business, you're in the right place. Let's get started.
Welcome to Partnerships for Profit, presented by LeDuc Entertainment. Today we are joined by Eliot Schreiber, the Chief Operating Officer of TextLegal. Eliot, welcome to the show.
Well, thanks so much, Adrian. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Eliot, can you start off the show by telling us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about TextLegal?
Sure. I'm a former or maybe recovering attorney myself, and have been managing companies in the marketing space throughout most of my career. And here at TextLegal, I'm responsible for our go-to-market strategy and bringing it, into operational performance. So again, we are as a company a provider of an SMS-to-short code platform that allows law firms to find another way to reach their audience by way of a texting channel, particularly useful among reaching younger demographics like millennials.
And what inspired you to focus on SMS-to-short code technologies in the legal space? How did you get started in that field?
Well, the company was founded by other practicing attorneys, and as successful business owners, they've got a laser focus on the key business drivers to the profession. They've also a passion for innovating just not only how they deliver their services, but how they market them. So, look, for years, law firms have successfully relied upon traditional digital and social media, click to chat and vanity phone numbers and URLs to get their message out. And, it worked well. But we saw that there was an opportunity to target even more effectively a key demographic, as I mentioned earlier. And that's becoming a fast majority of our client base, and I'm talking about millennials. These are roughly people that are ages 28 to 43. They're now, as I said, the largest demographic in the country. Welcome to the group. And behind you are Gen Z, and they all need legal services. So we took a closer look at this audience, and we realized really how hard it was to engage with them because they use often new and different media channels. Many no longer consume content from traditional platforms like cable, but they opt instead for over the top. And of course, they spend, as you probably do as well, and me, an incredible amount of screen time on social media. And they're also engaging with marketing messages that come from trusted influencers, and even looked at platforms like TikTok for not just trends, but news and opinion. So basically, I guess what I'm trying to say is marketing 101 is about delivering the right message, communicate at the right time and by the right channels. It's about meeting them where they are and giving the potential prospect a choice in how to engage with you. And meeting them where they are is through texting. And it's the next frontier of law firm marketing and client engagement. In fact, you know what? Maybe I can share some statistics with you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
It'll give you more context.
Absolutely, that'd be great.
75% of consumers under the age of 44 want to be able to contact a business via text. 98% of all texts are read, and that's 5 times the open rate of email. And 90% of texts are read within 3 minutes versus 3 hours for email. And frankly, most importantly, SMS increases conversion by over 200% compared to emails, phone calls, or social media. And when you look at the legal space, no surprise, millennials prefer texting with their lawyer more than by phone or certainly face-to-face. In fact, 1 in 3 expects text messages from their attorney. So, Adrian, that marketers outside the legal space have already integrated SMS into their communication strategy, right? You can look online and see it for disaster relief, The Voice, American Idol, voting for your favorite contestants. Right. 76% of business owners and marketers already invest in text marketing, or they're certainly open to using it. And more than half are going to increase their budget spend on it.
Can you share a little bit with us, a little bit more? Can we dive a little bit more into what short codes actually are and how legal and law firms are using them in their text marketing?
Sure. Short codes are 5 or 6 digit numbers that someone can send a text message to. As I just mentioned, the ads from in the media from people like Citibank, ESPN, the talent shows like The Voice, even political campaigns. I think you've all seen them this election year on the podium of the presidential candidates with a word that's being texting to a number. So, but many of these are just a jumble of numbers, right? We have what we call repeaters, which are numbers in a row, the same, like 22222, 55555. These are easy to remember, much more so than these mix match numbers that you might see in the market. In fact, some of these codes, including ours, actually spell words. So, for example, ours spell the words legal or lawyer or injury. And again, these are highly memorable devices for when you're trying to have an effective and powerful call to action. So basically, a law firm simply has their advertising use a call to action that would have the prospect send a short one-word message, we call it a keyword, to one of these short codes. So for example, if someone's advertising for personal injury, legal services, for auto accidents, they might say, if you're in an accident, text the keyword crash to one of our codes, for example, 22222. Of course, this keyword could be the firm's name, it could be the person's name, like Adrian, whatever is the right way to best boost the branding for that law firm. And so once the person sends the text message, well, then the firm will send out an auto reply. And that's going to allow the person to communicate back with their intake team in any number of different ways. It could be real-time texting with the intake team. It could be receiving an immediate phone call from them. It could be just clicking on a web page link to fill out, a free case evaluation.
Sure.
In fact, why don't we test it right now? You've got your phone nearby, I bet.
Yeah, I do. Can we try it?
Yeah, I'd love it. I hope it works.
Yeah. That'd be awesome. Okay, hold on. Let me get to my messages. Wait. Okay, so let's try it. That'd be awesome.
Text the word demo, DEMO,
okay,
to 22222. And let's see what you find.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Return. And let's try it. Okay, so we've got it texted up. Let's see. This is TextLegal. We will shortly send another text to share information on our SMS-to-short code service. And then did you hear the ding?
Yeah, good. It's working.
There was the ding. Wait. Thank you for your interest in learning more. There's the message. Thank you for your interest in learning more about our SMS-to-short code service. Please text us your full name. TextLegal. Right there. Look at that, everyone. That's awesome.
And now, pretend I'm the legal intake team.
That's really cool.
Now you've got something coming back from the intake team at the law firm. What does the message say?
It says, "Hi, Adrian. Thanks for having us on your podcast."
Okay, drop the mic. Exactly.
Everybody see that?
But anyway,
I hope it hit the mic on the way down, so everybody had to hear it thud.
So now it works. It's the real deal.
That's really cool.
But these auto replies can do more than just provide, a means to engage. They also can have, your firm's logo, like ours was, and the one that you just received from us, right?
Yeah, I've got it right there. Yeah. And,
right. And it can even have a voice greeting.
Right there.
We could have a voice greeting when somebody, gets the auto reply from the founder of the law firm, for example. So again, it's a communication channel that will boost branding. It'll drive lead generation, and it can be integrated in the law firm's CRM for harvesting, retargeting for drip campaigns and the like. These auto replies can even be sent from the law firm's office phone number. So, let's say the prospect's not ready to engage right then and there. They've got the sender's phone number that they can call the law firm at a later time. And in fact, Adrian, I'm sorry to be so overexcited about this, but there's
so cool.
So many more bells and whistles on this platform. I mean, the prospect can send video and photos that relate to their claim, so that obviously the intake team can have more documentation. There could be auto replies that further qualify the lead before even they come into the intake team. Like, are you the one injured? Are you being represented by a lawyer? Because obviously, if the answer is no and yes in that order, they're not a qualified lead. So lots of different ways to leverage the platform that others channels just don't allow.
So, I mean, I see the benefits of what you guys. I mean, that was so cool. I see the benefits of what you're doing. Can you share with us maybe? Is there a success story? Is there a story that stands out in your mind of a client or a business that really saw a transformation for the better as a result of TextLegal's help and aid?
Sure. I mean, I can't share specific law firm data.
Oh,
It
right,
depends on
right.
it depends on a lot of factors. Obviously, like the level of marketing spend, how long they do it, what channels in the media that they're using it for. But I can tell you that when we had a legal finance company use our service in 50 markets, they found that 70% opted in to continue texting with their call center, and of those people, 30% completed the application for legal financing. So that's pretty powerful. And I can tell you that when a legal conference used our service for promoting several of their products, they gave the attendees, all of whom were online, it was a virtual summit, they gave them 3 options for how to engage to purchase the service that was being promoted. One was using a QR code. One was going to their web page. And the third was using our short code. So 3 different options. And what happened? Well, nobody used the QR code, no surprise. And even though everyone was already online, you could quickly go to their URL page, 25% of them still chose to use texting as the way to engage. And then when they came in to engage, 50% of those converted to buy the service that was being promoted. So pretty powerful. Yeah.
Wow. So how do you see this text to short code technology? How do you see it evolving over the next few? I mean, because especially in this space, in this legal tech space, there's so much buzz about AI. How do you see this technology evolving in the next few years?
Well, speaking specifically around short codes, I can tell you that there's some really exciting developments in progress that will be available soon in the market that can further, amplify the value and performance for using short codes. But I can't, unfortunately, share too much more at the moment because it's still in the final stages of development, and we're working with the various network carriers in beta so that, again, it's ready to go at the right
Oh,
time.
wow.
But it's going to increasingly become, a go-to platform for engagement. I can only assure you that.
What I guess when you go to implement this technology, right, there has to be kind of some challenges that come along with implementing this technology. What sort of challenges have you run into, and how have you overcome them?
Adrian, the challenge in the legal space, I guess I'd have to say, is that they're not characteristically known as innovators and first movers. So by that I mean, unless they see a strong competitive threat, they probably are not going to be as open to innovating and integrating something new in their tools, their marketing mix. So again, if it's not broke, why fix it is the mentality.
Right.
And so introducing a new technology can sometimes be met with, disinterest. But having said that, younger owners of law firms and those who are more open to introducing innovation to their businesses, they are finding definitely that texting as a channel of engagement, as well as their other marketing strategies, is key to sustainable growth of their law firms. So I think the biggest challenge really is mindset and education, which is why, again, having this opportunity to be with you and your listeners today is so important, and so thankful for giving us the opportunity.
Well, and when it comes to these technologies, right? I mean, do you ever run into a situation where you go to implement these technologies and you want to bring them to a firm, right? Because I mean, I feel like a lot of law firm owners, have had the same strategies and have been running with the same strategies for years and years. Have you ever run into a situation where, one partner is ready to implement and one is resistant to it? Do you find any pushback because I feel like there's got to be some pushback, of we've been doing it the same way for 20 years and it's always worked out,
Well, they don't necessarily realize the quote unquote money on the table that they're leaving, because if their practice is strong, they don't know whom they're still not bringing in. because
Right.
of the lack of a channel that engages with that target. So that's where I guess we have to educate the market to understand that there are different demographic segments that want to engage in different ways, using different communication channels. And as I started from the very beginning of our chat today, it's meeting them where they are. So again, if a law firm is relying only on existing communication channels, which at one time or other were all new, right? I mean, years and
Right.
years ago, they didn't do any advertising, let alone use social media. So
Right.
the point is, they have to evolve to understand what are the new platforms of engagement, and this is clearly one that is already here, and that more sophisticated marketers, quite frankly, in different verticals, are using with success.
And I'm interested. I'm interested. Have you seen? I guess what kind of growth have you seen in businesses where they weren't implementing a strategy like TextLegal was providing? What mistakes were they making when TextLegal came into that space? Can you share a little bit about that?
I think I probably need a little bit more understanding of the question specifically.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, if there was, I guess what I'm saying is, if there was a business that could have used Text Legal's help and didn't implement Text Legal's help, what does it look like when they are resistant to that and don't go into that space?
Well, I think as I mentioned, there's opportunity cost to them. They're losing the opportunity to otherwise engage with an audience that's going to only get larger because of their demographic size. And behind them, as I said, are Gen Z. And while they start in their teen years, when you talk about DUI and auto accidents and other, issues that affect everyone, but it's certainly common among the younger audiences, then I think that they have to recognize that this is a target in their broad audience segmentation that they have to give more attention to.
And this is, I think, is a bit of an interesting question. There's a lot of talk now about everything moving towards AI, but I want to throw it back a little bit. Did you see the during the COVID period? Did you see? I mean, I feel like during the COVID period, right, there was sort of a drive to push everything towards this sort of remote marketing strategies, this remote technology. Did you see a big impact in the legal tech space during AI?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, there's two sides at least to that.
Or during COVID, not during AI, excuse me.
No, I understood, but I think there's at least two sides to approach that question, which is the fact that people were no longer engaging one on one,
Right,
right, and so everything was virtual. And then again, there was the issue of trying to make sure that people could quickly get to where they wanted to go. And AI is a huge enabler in terms of understanding, questions that are posed, and finding the right sort of engagement conversation so
right.
that it's a fluid process for the intake team. So AI is something that is being gradually introduced, I think, into the lead generation qualification process. But it's also, in terms of simply texting, it's proving that not just millennials are foregoing an in-person visit with a law firm or doing it through emails, but they'd want to be doing it through texting as well. So it's an enabler in the era in which we find ourselves, where people are no longer getting out literally in the real world to meet, and do not want to even engage via phone or even emails, where they have to make a commitment. They would rather have a texting channel that gives them the privilege of when they want to engage and how.
Well, and what I think is so interesting about Text Legal, and maybe you can speak a little more to this. What I think is really interesting is that you're taking something that is, in the legal world, there's so much complexity to the legal world, but you're kind of making those complexities user friendly, right? Can you speak a little bit about how you balance, the legal complexity with still being user friendly, right? Because if it's not user friendly, no one's going to use it.
Well, again, if if people have the opportunity to decide when they want to engage and what information they want to give and what that information consists of, they have the option to do that, again, using certain channels of communication. If they were on a phone call, they might be hesitant or feel uncomfortable to be that direct with someone asking them questions. So clearly having the ability to engage them on their own timeline is going to be more comforting to them, and I think ultimately more successful in having them come into the firm.
Well, and I'm wondering, can this be used for, evidence of any kind? Can this be used to submit evidence? Because I'm wondering, like, say there's a situation where, there's bruising across the chest, right? And they need photographic evidence of that. Can that evidence be texted across, or how does that valid, or how does that work?
Well, while I said I'm a recovering lawyer, I'm not practicing, so I'm not going to give you actually a legal answer. But I will go back to what I said earlier, which is that, by using this channel, the
Right.
potential client can document aspects of their case, like the accident on their car or injury that they sustained on themselves.
Sure.
And this could just help further document the case real time at the moment of quote unquote impact. That I believe should be able to be taken in as evidence because of the timestamp that shows, when it was actually sent, related to the actual claim that is being submitted. So I think the answer is yes, it's a useful tool for that purpose as well, and it can be videos as well as photos.
Well, and there's a level of, I think what's interesting about it is there's a level of kind of humanity and personability that comes across with it being delivered via a text rather than any other, medium. And I mean, do you feel that there's that level of sort of that one-on-one connection when it comes through directly to your phone? And what's the value of that?
Well, law firms are in the relationship business, right? I mean, they're
Right.
there to provide a service,
Mm.
and they are a trusted advisor and legal service provider for their clients. So again, that aspect of engagement and rapport is critical, I think, to the attorney-client relationship. And using a medium or channel that is one-to-one like this is, again, as you said, quite personal, and I think it's an effective tool for that.
Well, and we talked a little bit about how you got started in the legal tech space, but I kind of want to dive a little bit deeper, And I mean, can you tell us sort of, was there a deeper inspiration? Were there any experiences prior that led to you getting into this space? Because it seems like you have a real drive to help firms and help businesses. Where did that come from?
Well, for this, I have to really look to one of our founders, Jonathan Merrill. He is, I don't know what age demographic he would be, so I hesitate to say, but the point is he is passionate about innovation and about business growth, apart from being an incredible, attorney for his family law firm clients. But, he has a real drive to think of new ways to grow his business and to serve his clients at a higher level. And anyone who follows him on LinkedIn or elsewhere will see this. He really lives it. So it was only second nature for this to be something that he thought was an opportunity that needed to be not only done on our own, but to be sharing out to the legal profession.
Was there a moment I have to ask because I feel like when you texted me there and I saw how that worked, I thought that was so cool. Was there a moment that you had where you realized, oh, this SMS to short code, this is gonna work. This is something, Did you have that moment of realization?
Well, yes, but it wasn't just by using our shortcut. It was just the reality. I mean, if some of us are old enough that we have kids, you know, one generation would have picked up the phone and called. Another
Right.
generation would have sent an email. And if you're talking to your kids today, you can only engage them via text. And these are the future demographic of law firms' client roster. And getting engage with your doctor's office visits, your restaurant reservations, all kinds of stuff. It's just almost like a utility that is being used for
Right.
both personal, private, and professional life.
I saw. It's funny. It's funny. I saw you. I saw you make this hand gesture, right? I saw a really funny thing the other day that they were asking, different generations that they said, hey, just with your hands, show us you're getting a phone call. And it was like between millennials and Gen Z, the difference was millennials were doing this and Gen Z was doing this.
Exactly. Listen, Adrian, listen, do you realize if you ask people on the millennials or Gen Z what the symbol on their smartphone is for making a call, that
What?
symbol is they don't know what that symbol is.
Yeah, I call it the pound key. They don't say that anymore, or the hashtag.
Well, no, it's the version. It's a where is this? It's the phone handle. It's
Oh, yeah, so it is. Yeah. Then they don't know what that is.
They wouldn't know. It's like it's like archaic. It's like archaeology or something. So it's insidious,
Right.
and yet they're using it every day without realizing what the symbol is for using it.
Well, and what's funny is I can remember going down to my grandmother's basement and doing the.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you got a real antique phone.
So I'm wondering, can you share with us, like, what are some key strategies that, say that there is a business that is looking to implement TextLegal. What are some strategies that they could do to sort of help implement that and bring that into their current processes and procedures?
Well, I mean, obviously, I'm not. I think you're asking how they can market it, as opposed to how
Absolutely,
they
yes,
can.
yes.
Yeah.
And how they can
Well,
implement it in their current strategies is really, yeah.
okay. Well, certainly it should be. It's a omni-channel tool. It's agnostic as to where it can be used. So we're
Right.
seeing law firms using it on traditional out of home, billboards, broadcast, TV, and radio, over the top. It's in digital media. It's on the website. And it's in social media. So it's really useful across all platforms because it's the most memorable for when people
Right.
are not ready to engage with you. Because not everyone is ready at the moment that they see an ad, wherever they see it, to engage. But the point is, will they remember how to engage with you? And for
Right.
some, a 10 DLC number is a little too long, even if it's a vanity code. But in the case of a code, it's just 5 digits long, and if they're all the same number or they spell an easy word like legal, very highly memorable. So the point is now, how do you get it out in the market? Well, there's the virtual world, right, which I just mentioned, but then there's the real world, and I think the real world really speaks to your earlier point about a personalizing of the relationship, to show that this is not just at arm's length. This is a law firm that has real empathy for their clients and the communities in which they do business. So what does that mean? It means that law firms should be supporting their local community events and charities. It means that they should probably be, if they're in workman's comp, they should probably be out at the work sites. And in various cases, you have law firms who are giving out maybe free T-shirts or nap backpacks or what have you at various food drives, and then having, of course, the call to action as something that is memorable for if and when it's ever needed by the people that are involved.
Well, and I think it's so interesting, right? This strategy of and you don't really realize, or at least I did, before I thought about it, and talking about this strategy. I was at a Super Bowl party last weekend, right? And I mean, somebody's phone went ding in their pocket, and I saw 8 people reach to their, and it's like Pavlov's dog, like
You
every
bet.
sound. It's
Yeah,
so immediate. But
we're
I mean,
wired.
and that's such an effective strategy. But are there any other like innovative marketing strategies that maybe law firms could employ if they're trying to advance or
Well,
further their client acquisition?
Well, I'll tell you that there are some law firms who are sponsoring segments on their local marketing news programs, like a Good Morning Philadelphia, for example. where they are the resident legal expert. Huge credibility builder.
Right.
And again, if you said, hey, call Adrian, text Adrian at 22222, and that's broadcast to hundreds of thousands of people in the local market for someone who's the legal expert, that's a pretty strong go-to-market strategy. Separately, if they have news websites, having banner ads that are running with your call to action there as well, it's another way to reach a broad audience in a market.
Well, Eliot, this has been just a really fantastic, really informative conversation. And I really appreciate you being here. If anybody listening out there, if any business owners or entrepreneurs could use the help of TextLegal, where can the people find you?
Well, obviously, just as you did, if somebody were to want more information, they can simply text the word demo, which is DEMO, and text that word to 5 2s in a row. So they text it to 22222. Text demo to 22222. Or, Adrian, they could also simply send an email to us at info@textlegal.net, or visit our website at textlegal.net. Any of those 3 ways, but we'd rather them come in via the texting channel, obviously.
Yeah, I was going to say, and everybody out there, for the fun of it, because it is cool, everybody out there should 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the 2s, 5 2s, text demo, and it's pretty fun to see it being in real time.
We'd love to meet them.
Eliot, thank you so much for stopping by the show. This has been an absolute pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much.
Adrian, we really appreciate the opportunity. Thanks so much again.
And thank you everyone for listening. This has been Partnerships for Profit presented by LeDuc Entertainment. Eliot, thank you so much again.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of Partnerships for Profit. We hope you've gained valuable insights on how to form profitable partnerships and take your business to the next level. Be sure to subscribe and leave us a review wherever you listen to podcasts so you never miss an episode. Got a partnership story to share or someone you'd like to see featured on the show? Reach out to us. Until next time, keep building those partnerships for profit.